So that's why here answer is option C. Okay, next, second one you can see a population of genetically identical individuals obtained from sexual reproduction obtained from asexual reproduction is callus, clone, deem, aggregate given. The given four options genetically identical individuals, which one? Already we discussed morphologically and genetically similar individuals, we called it is the clones. Okay, so that's why option B is the option B is the option B is the right answer. Remaining you can see callus, deem, aggregate. Callus means actually it is undifferentiated mass of tissue, we call it is the callus. D means a group of population, and D aggregate means it is a group aggregation, a group of organisms also. So that's why the genetically identical individuals we call it is the clone. Okay, next, third question you can see natural parthenogenesis. Here natural parthenogenesis occurs in protozoans, earthworms, and all insects, honeybees given. The given four options. What is meant by here the parthenogenesis? Parthenogenesis means the egg directly it can be production of what is a new organisms. Egg is produced directly into a new organisms. So that's why it is which one are the right answer? The given four options honeybee. Honeybees are the it is a natural parthenogenesis occurs. First one protozoans, earthworms, all insects are it is not seen in the parthenogenesis. Okay, and then next one. Next one. Fourth question you can see. Actually here third question honeybees. Actually honeybees are three types are present. Worker bees, workers, and drones, and also queens. What are the workers? Workers means it is the these are the worker bees are the female but not capable of reproducing. And second one drones. Drones means it is made with the unfertilized queen. Okay, and then queen. Queen means is developing from larva selected by worker bees. Okay, so these are the three types are present. In that, drone bees are reproduced parthenogenetically, and female worker honeybees are lay only unfertilized eggs. So these eggs results in drone bees. Okay, these eggs it is grow up in drone bees. That means drone bees means male honeybees. Okay, so that's why you can see the natural parthenogenesis in honeybees only. Next question number 4 you can see here on the screen. Retention of larval characters even after sexual maturity is called parthenogenesis, antogenesis, paidogenesis, neoteny given. The retention of larval characters after sexual maturity is called, generally we call it as a neoteny. That means retention means hold also will come, and neoteny means it is the retention of it is the juvenile features. So that's why here option it is the D. Remaining ones are, see parthenogenesis means already you know this. Antogenesis means it is the development of an young individual. Okay, that's what do you call it is antogenesis. And option C paidogenesis. Paidogenesis means reproduction of mature larva by without fertilization, we called also paidogenesis. Okay, so based on this here the right answer is option D. Next, Next question, question number 5, you can see here highlighted. Asexual reproduction is an effective strategy in stable environment because here the given options 4 are present. Actually, asexual reproduction is effective strategy. What is the asexual reproduction? Already we discussed. So a new organism, it can be produced from a single parent, we call asexual reproduction. So such a kind of, it is the main, it is offsprings. They are already, it is the offsprings are genetically identical to the parents and are pre-adapted to environment. So that is the effective strategy. So which one are the options? So in the given option A, it is gametogenesis is the most efficient under the conditions. Option B, it is the offspring is genetically identical to the parents or pre-adapted to the environment. Okay, and option C is asexual parthenogenesis produces a large amount of genetical diversity. And option D, you can see animal cells tend to be more totipotent under stable conditions. So already I said, so which one? Offsprings are genetically identical to parental ones and are pre-adapted to environment. So that's why here answer, it is the option B is the right answer. Okay, so next question number 6, you can see, if you compare the genetic makeup of an animal produced by parthenogenesis with that of its mother, which of the following would you expect? Okay, expect. So actually it is parthenogenesis means the egg. Egg means it is the female one. Egg is the directly, it can be production of, it is the new organism. So this new organism is produced. So that's why it is the given options wise. So you can choose the answer about 100% of genetic similarity, about 50% genetic similarity, no genetic similarity, and parthenogenetic animals have no mother. So actually what here asks the question, the genetic makeup of an animal produced by parthenogenesis with that of its mother, which of the following it is would you expect? That means what will you present here? So about 100% it is genetic similarity is present. Okay, what is the question? Animal produced by parthenogenesis with that of its mother. So about it is 100% of genetic similarity is present. So 50% is not suitable. Why? Because means it is if you sexual reproduction it can be produced, that maybe it may be producing the 50% of chances. But here there is no involvement of gametes. So directly egg is to the formation of it is the new organism. So that's why most of the 100% of it is the genetic similarity is present. Okay. So that's why here based on this here option it is A. Okay. Next question number 7. So in that question number 7, which one of the following statements about animals that utilize external fertilization is false? External fertilization is false. Which one? So the given 4 points you can see, they are divided equally between terrestrial and aquatic species. External fertilization is equally divided into terrestrial and also aquatic. So it's not correct. So directly first option also it's wrong. Remaining ones you can say many, option B, many produce large number of gametes to ensure the successful reproduction. So actually the external fertilization show great synchrony between the sexes. As a result, to produce what will happen the external fertilization show great synchrony between the sexes to producing the large number of gametes. So to enhance the rate of reproduction, that means the fertilization process. That means as a result new organisms are more produced. Okay, so that's why this option also what I am saying that is suitable to that. So that's why it is a true. Next, the behavioral associated with the mating are often highly synchronized. So this is also for external fertilization suitable option. And the probability of any one egg being fertilized and developing into adult. So any one. So the probability of any one of egg is being fertilized into adult ones. So anyone it may be developed into new organism. So that's why in the external fertilization. So but here the divide into equally between terrestrial and aquatic, it's not a correct option. So that's why here option A is external fertilization is false. Okay, next question number 8. Which of the following statements about animal reproduction is false? The given four options: species that reproduce sexually cannot also reproduce asexually. Vivipary but not oviparity is common in mammals. Option C, male insects can remove spermatophores deposited in a female by other males. And option D, oogenesis and spermatogenesis both occur in the simultaneous hermaphrodites. So in that, so animal reproduction false means actually it is the species that reproduce sexually cannot also reproduce asexually given. Cannot given. It is can also reproduce asexually. So that's why this is the main, it is a false statement. So that's why here in this, so option it is A is the option here. A is the false statement. So remaining all are, it is sexual reproduction point of view, it is correct. Okay, and question number 9, you can see which one of the following animals qualifies as a sexually reproducing oviparous species. We are given four options. Look at the human and chicken and kangaroo and sea star. So in that, which one are the right answer? Oviparous. What is meant by oviparous? Viviparous. Oviparous means it lays the eggs. Viviparous means it is young ones are produce the organisms. So here in the chicken, here already human being, kangaroo, the sea stars, these are, it is directly producing the animals. And but chicken, it lays the eggs. So that's why it lays the eggs. So here option it is the option here it is the chicken is the oviparous species. Okay, next question number 10. Benefits of asexual reproduction include all the following except given. So in that benefits of asexual reproduction, here in the benefits of asexual reproduction, following except means actually it is asexual reproduction, it is advantageous is changing into environments in which the population variety of the key to successful propagation of the species. So these option it is not belongs to, not benefited to the asexual reproduction. Remaining three, or you can see the production of many offsprings of the same time is also possible in asexual reproduction. Option C, certain environment conditions having offsprings without searching of the male for mate. So it is also, that is asexual reproduction, and allowing the conservation of resources otherwise allocated to finding the mates and performing ritualized, what is that? It is a ritualized courtship. So these also for belongs to the asexual reproduction, it is the most of the benefited part. So only it is the option, it is the B, it is except of benefits of asexual reproduction include all the following except. Okay, and next one you can see here question number 11. All the eyes of potato tuber and are taken out and it is shown in the ground normally. A new plant will not emerge normally, be weaker, be healthier. So eye of potato, here eye of potato means here see, here in this potato here the eye-like structures are present. So these eye-like structures we call, these are the nodes. These eye-like structures we call it is the nodes. So these are removed and put on the soil. So that's why here these eye-like structures are, it is not producing the roots. Okay, so it is put inside the soil, it can be producing the new plant. So that's why here option it is the not emerge. What is this here? Option is not emerge. Next, question number 12. Basal of an onion, bulb is removed. Okay, you can see here onion. So this is the onion. Onion at the base, this is called, what is this one? It is the stem part, reduced stem part. What asks the question here? Basal half of an onion, bulb is removed and upper half of is shown in the ground, new plant will be produced or not. So upper portion only this much of part only you can put inside the soil. So as a result, it new organism is produced or not. See here given options: emerge normally, B not emerge, B without leaves, and B without flowers. So actually it is onion at the here in this onion here, this is the reduced stem. What I am making here, this is the reduced stem. So here buds are present. So whenever it is off part is, you can cut it, upper portion only put into the soil. So buds are not can be erases to producing the new organism. Upper part only it is the scaly leaves only present. So the scaly leaves only it stores the food material. So that's why these are not producing, these upper part only not producing the plant. So that's why what is that? It is not emerge. Okay, so next here, not emerge. Next, a small portion of sugarcane stem between two successive nodes is cut off and shown in the soil normally. New plant will arise or not. Be formed normally, and option B not be formed. Option C it is a B without juice, and D without nodes. Actually see here in the sugarcane. In the sugarcane here, these are the nodes. These two are the nodes. This is the internode. This is the internode. So this internode part only you can separate, the remove the nodes, only internodal parts you can put on the soil. It cannot be produced. So that's what will happen. Where it is the nodes are present, the nodes region it is what is that? What are the main part node? Such a region only it is arises the roots. So that's why here this internodal part it is what will you do? What produce? Not be formed. Okay, next 14th one. So that's why here option 13th one it is not be formed. Next 14th one. 14th one you can see a cutting of rose plant is thoroughly waxed and planted in the soil normally. It will form. It will form. Option A new rose plant, a dead piece of rose stem after some time, a rose plant of improved variety. D none of these. Actually it is the rose plant and planted in the soil normally. Actually the cutting part of rose plant surrounding it is wax is present. So whenever this wax part it is put in into the soil, so water it is not absorbed. So that's why the roots are not arises. So that's what will happen whenever it is this wax is surrounded by the stem, it can be put into the soil. Automatically what will happen? It is dead. Dead means a dead piece of rose stem after some time. So it can be the occurs whenever it is put inside the soil. So that's why option a dead piece of rose stem after some time. Next here 15th question. When an ovary develops into fruit without fertilization is called apospory, apogamy, and parthenocarpy and porogamy given. So ovary is developed into fruit. It is natural, but without fertilization, it is called it is a parthenocarpy. Okay, such a fruits is called it is example banana, grapes, watermelon. These are the examples. So here, so that's why here option it is C is correct. So in that option A and option B, option D you can see option A apospory. Here, apospory means the diploid megaspores is directly the production of it is the seeds we call it is the apospory. And here apogamy means here apogamy means okay, here apogamy means what do you call? It is haploid gametophyte directly it can be production of seeds we call it is a apogamy. So that means both are having apospory and apogamy that can be producing the apomictic seeds. And porogamy. Porogamy means what do you call? Here porogamy means the pollen tube is enter into the embryo sac through micropyle. That's what do you call it is a porogamy. So that's why here option it is the C is the right answer Parthenocarpy. Next 16th question asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is the best strategy for plants. A. They are well adapted to their stable environment. B. As winter approaches. C. When new genes must be introduced. And option D. That have underground stems. Which one is the correct answer? Already I told. So asexual reproduction is a single parent to producing the new offspring that is pre-adapted to the environment. So it is suitable to grow and also the new producing the new organisms also. So that's why here option A is the right answer. Okay. Next 17th one. Bamboo reproduced by rhizomes and tubers and corms and stolons. Bamboos actually here the bamboos are it is reproduced by the vegetative propagules such as it is rhizomes. The vegetative propagules such as rhizomes. Tubers means it is the example bulbs and corms means already you discussed in first year. What are the example colocasia and stolons? It is the one of the it is the mainly it is a what do you call it is a which kind of modification means subaerial stem modification. Next grafting. Grafting is an example of asexual reproduction. Which of the following choice an example of sexual reproduction involving non-vegetative part of plant? Non-vegetative part means which one are the given four options are vegetative. Apomixis. What is meant by here apomixis? Apomixis means the production of seeds without fertilization we call apomixis. Option B production of corms. Corms means it is the one of the it is the underground stem modification. So this is going to the vegetative propagation method. And bulbs means it is the onion also it is one of the underground stem. It is the production of one of the vegetative method. And production of rhizome means here example ginger. So these are so vegetative propagation. Only here option apomixis is the so not a vegetative part of a plant. Next, what is the necessary for successful grafting to occur? Each section must be able to form roots. The grafted section must be able to form seeds. Option C fusion of two vesicular tissues must occur. And fusion of two cambial tissues must occur. Actually grafting means what? So here the union of two parts we call it is the grafting. And the supported part of the stem, that means what do you call? The supported part of the stem we call it is the stalk. And the grafted part we call it is the scion. So these both it may be these two different parts of the stems. It may be same type are present, maybe different genetically variated stems are present. So these both stem parts are union together to production of new plant. Which region, the stalk and scion, which regions are they are attached? The fusion of two cambial tissues, where the cambial rings, where it is present such a region, it can be fused to the whenever it is fused to the production of it is the new hybrid plant. So that's why here option it is a cambial tissues must occur. Option D. Next, banana fruits are seedless because option A, axons are spread for rapid development of fruit. Vegetative propagation of plant, they are triploid plants. Fruits are artificially ripened. Already told, banana fruits. So banana fruit seeds are present. It's maybe germinated. Banana fruits, and at the center region black dots, those are called, it is the seeds. And so one more example, it is grapes and watermelon. These are the seeds, or we put in soil, it's not germinated. Why? Because those are, it is odd number of chromosomes present. That means it is the, those, or it is a triploid in plants, or maybe haploid in all the plants, their condition, it is the odd number is present. So that's why here, based on this, here they are triploid in plants. Okay, they are triploid in plants. Next question, you can see 20 questions are completed here. Next page, see here. Consider the following statement and choose the correct option. The genetic constraints, what is that? The genetic constraints. Consider the following statement, choose the correct option. The genetic constitution of a plant, it is unaffected by the vegetative propagation. So the genetic constitution of a plant, it is unaffected by the vegetative propagation. This is the right statement. Any genetic constitution of the plant, it can be vegetatively propagated. And next, second one, rhizome. Rhizome is the example. Ginger is here given. Serves as organ of vegetative reproduction. The rhizome, it can be, it is underground stem modification. The production of new plant through vegetative propagation is also right. And this is also right statement. Option third, totipotency of your cells enable to micropropagate the plants. So what is meant by here totipotency? The cell is able to produce the new organism. That is also method we call it is a micropropagated leaf. That means thousands of plants are produced through the process of tissue culture. This is a method, it is called is a tissue culture. So the totipotence of cells enables us to micropropagate plants. This is also right option. So the given three options also right statements. So that's why all statements in the given options are all the three statements 1, 2, 3 are true. So that's why option it is the D is correct. Okay, next question number 22. The plants identical to mother plants can be obtained from seeds, stem cuttings, both A and B, none of these given. Actually identical to mother. Seeds means actually male and female gametes are fused to formation of zygote and embryo and developed into seeds. So that's why here if half of the portion of characters are present, so that's why seeds are not correct. And stem cuttings means it is the one of the cutting method. So that means female parent it can be produced. Female parent of the stem it can produce. Completely it is a female plant only produce. That means female flowers kind of plants only produce. So that's it is the stem cuttings. A and B is wrong answer. Option D, it is none of these. So here based on this, here the question stem cutting is the right answer. Okay. So next, ploidy of ovary. Ploidy of ovary, anther, egg, pollen, male gamete and zygote are respectively question. So ploidy means what is here condition. So ploidy means condition. Suppose here ovary. Ovary is always it is the diploid in condition. Anther is the diploid in condition. Egg cell, that means female gamete, it is always one nucleus is present, so that's why it is a haploid in condition. Pollen means it is the haploid in nature. And male gamete, one single nucleus present, so that's a haploid in nature. Zygote, male and female gametes are fused to formation of zygote. Male and female gametes mean two nuclei are combined, so that's why it is the 2n condition. So that's why ovary is 2n, anther is 2n, and egg is n. Haploid, that means, and pollen haploid, and male gamete is haploid, and zygote is diploid. So that's why option B. Next, so remaining questions you can see. And next we are going to discuss another chapter. It is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. In the sexual reproduction in flowering plants, first question you can say entry of pollen tube through micropyle. So pollen tube, that means here already told entry of pollen tube into the embryo sac. So the entry of pollen tube into the embryo sac, three types are present. In the three types, first one it is porogamy, second one is chalazogamy, third one it is the mesogamy. So in that, see here, this is the ovular structure. Already I shown here the pollen tube. The pollen tube is here. The pollen tube is enter into the embryo sac. The pollen tube is enter into the embryo sac through micropyle. Through micropyle, we called it is the porogamy. Next, the pollen tube is entry into the, it is a chalazal region. This is the chalazal part. This is called chalazogamy. Next, the pollen tube is entry into the integuments. This is the integuments. So this is called, it is the mesogamy. So these are the three types are present. So based on this entry into the micropyle, that's are what do you call it is a porogamy. Pseudogamy means it's not true. Okay, so that's why based on this here porogamy is the right answer. Next, second one, dry indehiscent single seeded fruit. Dry dehiscent, okay, here dry indehiscent single seeded fruit formed from bicarpellary syncarpous inferior ovary is called. What is this? Here Caryopsis, Cypsela, berry and cremocarp fruits are given. Here option B Cypsela, it is a dry indehiscent single seeded fruit. So this dry indehiscent, indehiscent means not breakdown. Dry means it is completely dry fruit, it is not breakdown, it is very hard in nature. So that is that is we call it is a Cypsela. So mainly it is this fruit is developed from mainly pericarp and also inferior ovary. And so next option A, you can see Caryopsis. What are the examples? It is a one of the fruit type. Example, it is a rice and also grasses. And a berry. Berry means example here guava. Berry here example it is the guava and also it is the grapes. These are the examples. Okay. So here Cypsela it is the right answer. Okay. Next, one of the most resistant to biological material is lignin and lignin and hemicellulose and lignocellulose and sporopollenin. So actually it is most resistant. Already we discussed pollen grain. The pollen grain axon is made up of sporopollen. It is highly resistant to organic material now. So that's why here option it is the sporopollen is the right answer. So next, fourth one. In the fourth one, when the funicle and chalaza and micropyle one straight line. Okay, here in the funicle, in this funicle, in the ovule, this funicle, okay, in the funicle and chalazal part, this one chalazal part and a micropyle, these three are the same line are present. That's are such a kind of ovule we call it is arthotropous ovule. So option B is the right answer. Next, which one of the following is fruit? So here ginger, sweet potato, radish and lady's finger given. So ginger means it is the stem, sweet potato also it is one of the vegetative part and radish also it is radish. This is also root modification part. Lady's finger. Lady's finger means it is it belongs to the Malvaceae. We are eating already this lady's finger. That scientific name we called it is Eubulmascus esculentus. Okay, Eubulmascus esculent. This is the ovary. Ovary is modified into fruit. What you are eating, that bindi, that is called it is a lady's finger. So that's why here option it is a 4 is the right answer. Next, female gametophyte. Female gametophyte of angiosperm is represented option A ovule and option B it is a megaspore mother cell, and C is embryo sac, and D is nucellus. So this female gametophyte, this female gametophyte means one more name we call it is the embryo sac. So already this ovule inside, this is the ovule inside, this is the part, this is the new micropylar region, micropylar near one of the nucellus cell, here act as a megaspore mother cell. This megaspore mother cell undergoing meiotic division to the formation of 4 megaspores. Okay, this is one of the here nucellus cell here act as a megaspore mother cell, here form the 4 megaspore. So in the out of 4 megaspores, here 3 are degenerate and one is the functional megaspore. So this one functional megaspore undergoing mitotic divisions. That means how many mitotic division means here 3 mitotic divisions. As a result, here form the embryo sac. Here form the 8 nucleated embryo sac is formed. Okay, here how it is present, you can see here 8 nucleated. This is the embryo sac. So in 8 nucleated embryo sac, so this part it is called, it is a egg apparatus, and this is the secondary nucleus. These are the antipodal cells. Okay, so this female gametophyte anotherly we call it is the embryo sac. Next, so that's why option it is the C is the right answer. Next, which one of the following pair has haploid in structure? Nucellus tissue, here you can see it is the nucellus tissue, it is diploid in nature, antipodal cells are haploid in nature, and option B antipodals are haploid, egg cell are haploid. We are asked that here question haploid in structures, so option B is it is nearly right. Option C you can see antipodal cells are haploid, the megaspore mother cells are diploid in nature. Next, option D nucellus tissue, it is the diploid in nature, and here primary endosperm nucleus, that is a triploid in nature. So haploid structures are it is antipodals and egg cells. So that's why here option it is the B is the right answer. Okay, so next question number 8, polyembryony. So here polyembryony commonly occurs in option A citrus, option B turmeric, C tomato, and potato. So here polyembryony, what is meant by polyembryony? Polyembryony means more than one embryo formed in the angiospermic plants. That's why we call it is polyembryony. So these polyembryos are formed from, it may be haploid egg cells and diploid egg cells also, and then a nucellus together with the nucellus together with integuments. So this all together it can be formed the polyembryos. This polyembryonic concept they are discovered by scientist Antony von Leeuwenhoek. The main it is the citrus plants. Okay, so that's why here answer it is the option A. So next question you can see. Okay. Option C, sorry, question number 9. Chasmogamy refers. Here chasmogamy refers to the condition where actually here the flowers remains closed, and option B flowers are absent, and option B it is the flowers are open, and option D it is the flowers are gamopetalous. So based on this it is the chasmogamy means some of the plants you can see. Example it is the Cumulina and also Viola oxalis, they are producing the 2 types of flowers. So that is called it is the chasmogamous flowers and also clistogamous flowers. So chasmogamy means it is the flowers are it is always it is open condition. and clistogamous means it is the flowers are never open at all. So that's why this based upon the flowers. Here chasmogamy means it is the flowers are open condition. Okay, so here option C is the right answer. Next, see, concentrate to the question number 10. Here ugamy, here ugamy fertilization involves. Actually, what is meant by here ugamy? Actually, fertilization here to three types are present. Fertilization, it is the three types are present. First one it is isogamy, second one anisogamy, third one ugamy. Isogamy means the fusion of two similar in gametes. That is called it is isogamy. Next, anisogamy. Anisogamy means the fusion of two dissimilar gametes. And ugamy means the fusion of two male gametes. The male gamete is very small and motile, and female gamete is large and also stationary. So such a fusion we call it is ugamy. So that's why here given options wise which one are there you can see. So first one large non-motile female gamete and small motile gamete not there, and a large non-motile female gamete and small motile gamete. Option B it is the right answer. Next, cotyledons. 11th question, see, cotyledons. Cotyledons and testa are respectively or edible part in, actually option A walnut and tamarind, and French bean and coconut, and cashew nut and lychee, and option D it is a groundnut and pomegranate. Actually, testa, cotyledons means seeds, and testa means what do you call here already in the ovular structure. Already see here in the ovular structure. In the ovular structure, this is the ovule. Ovule, it is surrounded by, these are the integuments. So these are the, what I have shown, these two are the integuments. So ovule after fertilization it can be converted into seed. So ovule after fertilization it can be converted into seed. So ovule outer side these integuments are converted into seed coats. So here two integuments are present. So that means two seed coats are formed. So the outer seed coat in the outer seed coat we called it is a testa, and inner seed coat we called it is the tegmen. So which one we are eat cotyledons? Here the given point of it is a groundnut and a pomegranate. Pomegranate it is also testa. Seed outside the testa will eat, and groundnut also will eat in outside seed outside testa also, and cotyledon also will eat. So that's why it is based upon we can say it is option D is the right answer. Cashew nut we will not eat, and coconut, option B coconut also will not in outside part, and tamarind also will not eat, and walnuts also outside parts we will not eat. Okay, tamarind we will eat, but here walnuts sometimes it is a dry nature condition, this tamarind will not eat. So that's why walnuts also it's not eaten that testa parts. Okay, so this is a groundnut and pomegranate both are will eat these cotyledons and testa. So this option D is right. Next, question number 12. Polygonum type of embryo sac. Polygonum type of embryo sac means what? Actually, embryo sac. This is the embryo sac. In the embryo sac, these three cells are, it is antipodal cells. These three are antipodal cells. And as the central region, the presence of these two cells, we call it is the polar nuclei. Polar nuclei. So micropolar side, the presence of these three cells we call it is egg apparatus. So these two cells are, it is the synergids, and this is called it is the egg cell. So in that so how many cells are present, how many nuclei are present? So in that, see here, look at on the screen. Okay, see. Here antipodal cells are, here antipodal cells are three cells and three nuclei are present. Okay, and polar nuclei here, two nuclei here combined to formation of single cell. So that's why here two nuclei, but here single cell. Here three cells, three nuclei are present. And egg apparatus, these three cells, two synergid, one egg cell. So that's why seven cell. Here one, this is the one, this is the two, this is the three, this is the four, this is the five, six, seven cell. But nuclei how many? The secondary nucleus, two nuclear to this two nuclear together formation of single cell. So that's why single cell we considered. Here upper it is the antipodal region, antipodal cells 3, and lower region micropylacid egg apparatus 3, that means 6, and central cell we call it as a single, that means secondary nucleus. Total 7. So that's why 7 cell, but here nuclear how many? 8. But how it is? Egg apparatus 3 nuclei, and antipodal cells are 3 nuclei, and central cell it is the 2 nuclei. Total it is 8. So that's why 7 cell 8 nucleate condition we can see. So the 7 cell 8 nucleate condition they discovered in the Polygonum divaricatum plant. So that's why this is called, it is a Polygonum type of embryo sac. Polygonum type of embryo sac. So that's why answer it is 7 cell 8 nucleated. Next, in a dicot embryo, the radicle is formed by epibasal tear of embryo, hypobasal tear of embryo, hypophysis of suspensor, and terminal cells of suspensor. Here hypobasal, hypo means it is the lower side of it is the lower side of the radical region it can be producing of. Okay, hypobasal tear of embryo region it can be production of the dicot embryo. Sorry, in the dicot embryo the radicle is formed. The radicle means it is the lower side. Lower side means it is a hypocotyl part. Hypocotyl in the embryo part, hypobasal tear of embryo region it can be formed. Already in this embryonic development we can see, so that based upon it can be present. So that's why here option it is the B is right answer. Okay, so next, a drupe develop in mango, wheat, pea, tomato. So drupe develops in, actually drupe means already first year the example it is a mango and coconut given. Here mango and coconut, coconut is not here, mango is present. So that's why you can drupe fruit. What is mango is the example already in present in first year in morphology. Next, when the pollen grains are not transferred from anther to stigma in a flower due to the barrier, it is called, once again see, the pollen grains are not transferred from anther to stigma, but due to the flower, that's kind of what do you call it is inbreeding devices, we call it is hercogamy. Here barrier is present, anther and stigma present in different in heights. Suppose for example in hibiscus plant anther and stigma are present in different in heights, but barrier is present. Okay, due to the barrier, but it is a different heights, that means a very large heights are present. So that's why it is not reaches to that. Such a kind of method we call it is the hercogamy. So dichogamy, here option is A is right, and heterogamy, cleistogamy. Cleistogamy means closed flowers, heterogamy means two types of gametes, and option D it is a dichogamy means here one of the it is the one of the it is here method it is the inbreeding depression method. That means dichogamy two types are present, protoandry and protogyny. So in that A it is a protoandry means the androecium is mature earlier than gynoecium. So that's why it is self fertilization, self pollination it can be prevented, favors the cross pollination. And option it is another one method it is protogyny. The gynoecium is mature earlier than anthers. So as a result what will happen? So anther here self pollination is prevented, favors the cross pollination. And based on this it is the hercogamy is the right answer. So here hercogamy is the right answer. So here Okay, heterogamy. This is the one of the, it is the in, it is inbreeding depression. In this way self pollination is prevented, favors the cross pollination. And the parenchyma tissue which forms the bulk of ovule where the sporogenous tissue is produced is megaspore mother cell, nucellus, and ovule, and option D embryo sac. So ovule inside the presence of parenchymatous tissue. Here this is the ovule. Ovule is the center region. Here inside embryo sac is formed. So this is the number, a mass of tissue. This is called, it is the nucellus tissue. So okay, the bulk of the ovule where the sporogenous tissue is produced, that's our, what do you call it is here, nucellus tissue. Next, unisexuality of flowers prevents. Unisexuality, what prevents unisexuality of flowers? It is what prevents autogamy but not geitonogamy, both geitonogamy and xenogamy, geitonogamy but not xenogamy, D autogamy and geitonogamy. Actually it is a pollination, it is the three types are present. So autogamy and geitonogamy and xenogamy. So autogamy means it is a one of the pollen grains are transferred to the stigma of the same flower, so that's autogamy. And geitonogamy means so male, the pollen grains are transferred to the stigma, the pollen grains are transferred to the another flower of the stigma of the same plant, we call it is a geitonogamy. Examples you can see in maize. But unisexual means unisexual flowers, here autogamy it can be prevented but not geitonogamy. Why? Because here male flower is present, female flower is present on same plant, but here not a bisex, it is like a male is present in, male flower is present in one branch, female flower is present in one branch in a same plant. So but not geitonogamy. Okay, so here occurs such a way. So option it is based on this, here option A is correct. Both geitonogamy and xenogamy not occurs, and xenogamy geitonogamy is geitonogamy but not xenogamy is wrong, autogamy and geitonogamy is wrong. So autogamy but not geitonogamy in unisexual flowers. Next question number 18, which one of the following represent ovule where the embryo sac becomes horseshoe shaped and funicles and micropyles are very close together? Amphitropous, Sesnotropous, Atropous, and here Anatropous present. Here what are the main, here question, here horseshoe shaped means it is the embryo sac is present in horseshoe shaped means it is directly you can amphitropous ovule. Okay, atropous means there is no what do you call it is atropous, there is no integuments. Okay, anatropous you know this, and certain circular type is present. Next question number 19, if an angiospermic male plant is diploid, female plant is tetraploid, the ploidy level of endosperm will be haploid and triploid and tetraploid, pentaploid. Actually see here male plant means it is diploid in condition. So here the diploid condition of the plant, so the diploid condition of male plant to production of gametes, it is a haploid in nature. And diploid female plant, diploid female plant, sorry, male plant is diploid, so that's why haploid gamete is produced. Female plant is tetraploid. Once again see this question, an angiospermic male plant is diploid and female plant is tetraploid condition. So what will happen, the ploidy level of endosperm, so actually endosperm how to form, the second male gamete is fuses with the secondary nucleus to the formation of endosperm. That means first of all the primary endosperm nucleus is formed as developed into endosperm. So the male plant means what produced, it is the gamete is produced, that means here haploid gamete is produced. And female plant is tetraploid, that means tetraploid means it is the here tetraploid, here the 2n condition, it is the secondary nucleus, tetra means it is one more, it is the 2n is produced. So that means total it is the 5n condition. What is this? Yeah, total it is the 5n condition of what is the endosperm is formed. Once again see, the male gamete will be haploid, that's why n, and two polar nuclei will be diploid, so that's a 2n. Endosperm is formed by fusion of male gamete with two polar nuclei will be pentaploid. That means male gamete is n, two polar nuclei means 2n plus 2n, pentaploid, sorry, tetraploid. So that's why here 4n plus n, that is called, it is the 5n. Okay, next, the plants flowers and fruits only once in their lifetime and die after fruiting. These are called monocarpic plants and polycarpic plants, vegetative plants and reproductive plants. Once again see, the plant flowers and fruits only once in their lifetime and die after fruiting. So here example you can see, it is a bamboo plants. So those plants are, it is always it is a monocarpic in conditions. Okay, that's it. ఇది ఆఫ్ ఎలా చేయాలి సార్? Remaining we'll see. Remaining you can see later, you can practice.